So Raw After Mania was good. I'm kidding. That was awesome. That felt like a Raw after WrestleMania. It has been many years since it felt like WWE even gave a crap about Raw After Mania. Every segment seemed to matter tonight. That's what worked really well for me. What about you? Okay, so Raw kicked off with John Cena in the ring, your real world champion, real last champion, whatever. He corrects the ring announcer. Cena talks down the crowd. I'm gonna do a video on John Cena and WrestleMania and where things might be going, because it does seem like fans are torn on the WrestleMania match, that it was slow, plodding, the finish was terrible, Travis Scott shouldn't have been there, The Rock should have been there. I can see all of that, and especially like the Travis Scott stuff and how it really finished. Title belt, smack to Cody, and that was it. The other side of it is that it plays into John Cena's character and what he is all about now. Is it a little too much? Maybe, I don't know, but I thought that this promo was a great way to open up the show. And the big highlight for me was coming into the background, Randy Orton comes in and RKO's John Cena. Exactly what I was hoping they would do. Come off of Cody, get him off TV, keep Cody off for like a month or two, whatever, but let him recharge and go away for a while so fans can miss him, and then step in with other superstars like Randy. We know that at Backlash, we got Randy Orton in town, and this feels, not confirmed, but feels like this is going to be the match at Backlash. And I hope that this is going to carry on for a couple of months, because we have John Cena for Saturday night's main event. Money in the Bank is going to come up in June, probably a Saudi show in there, and then you're into the summertime. So Cena versus Randy, it's what I want. It's how they tell this story though, and I love Randy just holding the belt up. Like, it's just awesome to see these two guys going at it in the ring, but the roles are reversed now. We've always had John Cena versus Randy, Cena as a face, Randy as a heel. I love that it's flipped, and this is going to be a great, compelling story. The history is all there, and I really like that aspect of it. So then we get a women's tag team title match, a rematch of WrestleMania, Liv and Raquel going up against the new champs Becky and Lyra. This was an awesome match. This was better than the WrestleMania match in my eyes. I don't know what it is about Mania, but sometimes the matches are flat there, or they don't execute or deliver, and then you get to Raw and it's like they're just unleashed and they're able to do really cool stuff. I love all the power bombs. They use Raquel and Liv so well. This isn't the first time where Liv and Raquel have been in a tag team match and they've pulled off like a main event match where it's like highlight of the night sometimes. These two as a tag team, it totally works. They deliver in the ring. I thought that this was great. And you know, and it's a shocking surprise. They flip the titles. Liv hits an oblivion on Lyra. That's it. Becky and Lyra lose the titles after one night, and you can see where the story is going to unfold now, because we didn't get Bayley at WrestleMania. Becky got subbed in, and at the end of this match, Becky stands up Lyra and then gives her a clothesline and starts just decimating Lyra, who's all shocked and bewildered that this happened. I wonder if they're going to continue Becky versus Lyra with this, or is Bayley going to come back? Part of me thinks that we are going to be setting up a Bayley versus Becky feud. What they can do is, like at Backlash, have Lyra versus Becky going at it, put the IC title on the line, and give Becky the IC title. I think that would help elevate it. It would give more to do, and because what they're doing with Lyra just doesn't seem to be working. Tag team champion for one day, and that was it. The IC title for the women, it feels like an afterthought. It'd be kind of cool if they switched it up and you get a dominant Becky Lynch coming in and she beats up Lyra. She wins the title, and from there you can then move on to Bayley versus Becky. I think that they could do almost like Naomi and Jade. It's a whodunit. Bayley got taken out, and I think you could probably just say it's going to be Becky. Becky stepping in and wanting to get the title, wanting to be a champion once again. And if they do it right, they could have a really great feud that is 6 months, a year, that they could have between Bayley and Becky, kind of like Punk and Drew, where they want to have an extended feud if done correctly. And if you sprinkle in the IC title, it's an added little wrinkle in there for those two and what they can fight over. And I know this won't happen. It's more just like Matt's wish list. Kinda, maybe not, but kinda want to see if Becky would join up with Paul Heyman and Seth, kind of round out the group a little bit. We'll talk about the main event in a minute. So for more surprises for Monday Night Raw, we got Rusev. Rusev came back. Maxine Dupree, Otis, Tozawa, they came out to talk to New Day. Once they all entered the ring, lights go out, big monstrous pop for Rusev to come out, and he just destroys Tozawa and Otis. So happy to see Rusev back in the WWE ring. Feel like he's a little bit of the Redeemer character. I love the Tron, and I love just kind of the music and all that, what they did with it. He's menacing, he's gigantic. He's slotted in around the mid-card division, but you know what? This can totally work because you need more talent in there around the IC title. You have Dom, you have Penta, you don't have Braun Breaker anymore because of the main event. You could insert Rusev into that Braun Breaker type of spot and get him around the IC title division, round that thing out a little bit more. I like it. Can't wait to see what they're going to do next with him. And I hope he gets a good program. He's not just forgotten. The concern I have too is that you do get some returns of people like we've had Andrade, for example, who went on to have like a great series of matches with Carmelo. But before that, and even after that, we didn't get much of Andrade. I hope that Rusev is not going to be speed champion, is my point. And then man, oh man, we get Io Sky retaining her title at WrestleMania, doing a promo in the ring, and then Stephanie Vaquer comes out, huge pop to crowd love. Like, if you're gonna do NXT stuff on WWE TV, Raw After Mania is the crowd to do it with. I think that this was awesome. It gets more eyes on NXT. Stephanie is like main roster ready. She's gonna be called up by like the Royal Rumble if they're not careful. Great reaction. I loved how the match was going. It was great to see them both in the ring. Just that exhibition style match that you get after Mania. These two can go. I love the chemistry. I just wish that they were on main roster already. But then you had it all break down before it could end, and you had Roxanne Perez coming in there, and you had Julia show up too. So this furthers the story going on into NXT, which is awesome. Rhea Ripley comes out to kind of save the day a little bit. No Bianca Belair. Bianca is off right now. And Rhea kind of grabs the title for Io and just like, I'm coming for that still. What do you think they're going to do though with the world title with Io? Are we going to be getting a series of challengers for Io just for the next month or two? Are they going to switch it up and just Bianca just comes out maybe next week and attacks Io? We get that one-on-one. Are they going to kind of keep mixing it up between the three of them? The triple threat was really good at WrestleMania, one of the best matches of Mania weekend. This is sometimes the dilemma or sometimes the issue when you have, you know, a champion retain. Who's going to be next? Like if you're going to run it back and just do Rhea and Io again, I find that a little boring. We've seen it so many times. Bianca and Io could be a lot of fun. And I don't know, maybe they want to be able to hot potato the title a little bit now that we finished up WrestleMania. But I don't know who else is going to be a challenger for Io. So to me, it kind of feels like you're going to do Bianca. And then once again, I'm like, what are you going to do with Rhea? So it's an interesting situation, but I think that you're going to get some overlap there with this talent, main roster, Rhea, Io possibly, and NXT. Could see a little bit of crossover for post-Mania, which would be a lot of fun. But they all look main roster ready is my point, and I loved it. Speaking of world champions, Jey Uso comes out, and it's just a yeet fest for everybody. He's heating the crown. They run it back again so they can do the whole chant once again. Sami Zayn makes his return after being gone for like 8 weeks, just to congratulate Jey Uso. Jimmy comes out also to congratulate Jay. Part of me thought one of them was going to turn. We've seen so much action and so many turns and things happening on Raw. I thought for a minute, I was like, oh, Sammy's going to come out and hit him in the nuts. No, they just came out and they hugged him and it was all good. We don't have any challengers yet for Jey Uso. Not a problem to me. You don't want to overload Raw After Mania with like, okay, just here's every single storyline that's going to happen. They got to figure out what they're going to do though with the next challengers. And it may not be at Backlash because it might be Cena versus Randy at Backlash, and maybe they don't want to have a Jey Uso match, a title match there or program. Maybe they do want to set up brand new contenders, run a tournament for #1 contenders. It's the only issue I can see. They spent so much time building Gunther and Jay that you don't necessarily have new contenders for Jey Uso. However, you do have Braun Breaker out there, you do have Seth Rollins, and that could be kind of the future depending on how long things with Punk and Roman go on for. This is where I think that the WWE draft needs to happen so that we can switch up the rosters and we can get new fresh talent thrown at Jey Uso. You need more heels. You know who would be good? I just thought of this. A returning, they didn't do it tonight, and I don't know if he's ready or not. Bronson Reed. If Reed is all healthy pretty soon, him versus Jay would be awesome because you have a monster heel and somebody for Jey Uso to really overcome the odds, and you got to throw big challengers at him, kind of like Cody after Mania 40. where he went off and he had matches against Logan Paul. He had the match with Gunther. He had AJ Styles. You kind of need to throw more challengers at Jay now, but in a similar vein of like underdog. Jay is still gonna feel like the underdog a bit. Bronson Reed might be a great challenger. Or do what Matt wants, which is Killer Cross. Now, did you guys watch the WrestleMania post show or podcast, whatever they got? He's with Sam Roberts, and Cross comes in and sits down and cuts like his pipe bomb. This thing, go find it, go watch it. He's just angry. He's shooting a little bit, mixed all in there. It's really excellent. Cross felt like a big deal. He got his point across. He was awesome in that whole promo, and they didn't talk about it on Raw, which was a real bummer. They had him backstage, they had a little moment there with his New Day, and then he was there with AJ Styles. So it feels like we're gonna get Cross versus AJ and continuing that feud, obviously based off of what happened after WrestleMania for Paul and AJ. Cross needs to get in there, but they need to do that promo or one like it, do it on TV, because it was awesome. But then you have Gunther at ringside. So after like the commercial break, they cut to ringside, and like I looked up and I was like, oh, Gunther's there. So you had Gunther coming out and he's just chirping at Pat McAfee and Michael Cole. This results in a massive beatdown, and you know what? I thought it was great. It was very effective. They wrote off Pat McAfee because he got dummied. They had all of Pat's guys coming out. So Gunther gets Michael Cole in a choke, and then he turns around, Pat McAfee smacks him. You got Gunther attacking Pat McAfee, puts him in a chokehold. It was really well done by Pat, great selling. And then you had Pat's podcast guys jump the guardrail and they were trying to help him. So I like that aspect because it was kind of like it was more realistic. And that all goes to the back. They go and check out Pat, and then Michael Cole's like, I'm a tough man. I almost broke my nose, but I'm going back out there. So yay, Michael Cole. So he goes back out with Joe, and they do commentary for the rest of the night. Now, what do you think they're going to do with Gunther? Because for me, this feels like they're going to write Gunther off in like a suspension angle. We didn't have anything from management coming out and saying that we're from Adam Pearce to say Gunther's got consequences. Kind of feel like they're going to do that. You know what might be good? Suspend Gunther in storyline because we need him to cool off, kind of like after Mania 40 where he disappeared until like King of the Ring. They could do that, and once again, this is where I feel like they really could use a draft, and then you could have Gunther, maybe he's suspended and he gets drafted over to SmackDown, and then you instantly have Gunther doing some new stuff. He can fight LA Knight, he can get involved in the US title scene, you could do a lot of different stuff or get some personal feuds. Because I don't know what else you're going to do with Gunther on Raw, unless he's just going to be a maniac and just go after anybody that's wronged him to eventually get back to Jey Uso. We'll see. Thought the Pat thing was great. I did find it a little long, like just walking Pat up to the ramp all the way backstage. I know that they were trying to sell it. It just went very, very long. But a great way to write Pat off TV if you're going to do maybe Corey Graves comes back to commentary, or it's going to be Joe and Michael Cole. We'll see. Penta versus Dom Mysterio. Judgment Day is all around. Intercontinental Champion Dom Mysterio. Love it. Match was good. JD McDonough makes his return to make the save. Dom Mysterio gets a splash onto Penta, and Judgment Day is strong once again. Everybody's back. I'm glad JD's back. That was a nasty injury, so it's great to see him back. Whether he's going to wrestle right away, we don't know, but you know what, he's back on TV, and it's a great spot for him to make that return. And then there's the whole question mark of Finn Balor, because he's really not into it, and he's looking at JD like, what are you doing? And JD did a great job here, because when they're going up the ramp, he's like waving Finn over, like, come on, hang out with us. Like, come on, we're all buddies. Like, we're all this together. And Finn is just bitter about the whole thing. So it really is going to feel like we're going to get Finn versus Dom. Like, could be Backlash. They may want to save it, but they got to do something where this thing's going to implode. Okay, main event segment of Raw. What did you think? And guys, if you can, help me out. Hit subscribe, hit a like on the video, because it helps the algorithm say, hey, you like this stuff, and helps us grow and expand here. We had Seth Rollins coming out as the new Paul Heyman guy. In the ring with Paul Heyman, he starts doing his promo. CM Punk comes out and just gets taken out. I like that Seth took out Punk because it makes Seth look strong. I really am glad that they went with this for Mania, where you have Paul and Seth together, because it feels new, it's different, it's fresh. You can build off a lot of stories. Now, once Punk gets taken out, the Tribal Chief comes out, which I was surprised because I thought Roman he should be gone. He'd be bye-bye. But he comes out, he actually gets a Superman punch onto Paul Heyman, so he gets his comeuppance. He spears Seth Rollins as well. And then, out of nowhere, Braun Breaker comes out and attacks and spears Roman Reigns. Congratulations, Braun Breaker. You're in the main event scene. I loved this. This was a great surprise. I did not have Braun Breaker on my bingo card to be able to get involved in this. Braun Breaker is now the new Paul Heyman guy as well, and you have a nice little faction, a little duo here with Paul. This is excellent because it's going to make things bigger and expand the storyline. And I'm just happy for Braun Breaker because him and Heyman is something I think a lot of fans want to see. And it's something that they can slow burn for a long time. And it's a great way to get Braun out of the IC title scene where you just kind of teleport him out and now he's over here in the big main event. There's a moment where Seth and Breaker are looking at each other, and then Breaker goes and he spears CM Punk. He spears Roman Reigns through the barricade. They make Braun look absolutely dominant, strong, menacing. It's exactly what you needed. You have Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman standing tall at the end of Raw. Awesome way to be able to end Raw after Mania. That's the stuff you want. You want the urgency, new stories, new characters, people being moved around the card, so it's not the same old thing. Now, the way the Raw ended, for me anyways, it feels like they're gonna set up a tag team match to at least start this whole storyline. It feels like we're gonna get Seth and Braun, maybe at Backlash, going up against Roman and Punk. If they do this as early as Backlash, to me, this is a great story because you're gonna have the reluctant tag team of Punk and Roman of can they coexist? After everything that's happened, they've both been wronged, but it's the enemy of my enemy thing where they're like, Paul Heyman screwed both of us. We can get on the same page for one night and try to beat up Seth and Braun to get to Heyman. And you have a lot that can come out of something like that because you can have Punk and Roman just not get along. They could screw each other over, miscommunication, and then ultimately you can have Seth and Braun Breaker get over and get the victory. Probably at that point, I don't know what you think, but I would suspect after like Backlash or they do something like that, Roman gets written off TV. One way you can do it is you do have a finish at Backlash that's decimating both guys, both Punk and Roman, and really lay into Roman Reigns if you're Braun Breaker. Chair shots, multiple spears, all that, so you write him off TV for a few months, and you can leave Punk all alone. And you could do Braun Breaker versus CM Punk. There's a lot of options. Matt's very happy. I'm very tickled by Monday Night Raw. Not everything at WrestleMania clicked, but it's great to see the outcomes. Some stuff, a lot of stuff is actually moving forward. You guys want to talk about WrestleMania, results, review, all of that? Click right here. WrestleMania Night 1, Night 2 reviews are up. Have a great day. See ya.